Welcome to day 8 of my 30-day water fast. I'm Dave, and this is Dave Does Life. Yesterday, we touched on the feeling normal, just starting to just becoming normal after this length of time in the fast. I woke up this morning feeling even more normal, if that's possible. So I want to touch on the normalcy phase during this video. But first, I'll give you my stats for today. Remember, yesterday we talked about plateaus. I have plateaued for about 2 days. Woke up this morning and my weigh in is now 182.8 pounds. Body fat percentage 27.4 pounds. So I dropped 1.25 pounds overnight after a 2 day plateau. So that's a total loss of 7.4 pounds in the first 6 days, the first 6 weigh-ins of this fast. I consider that a win. So I want to talk about something today that I honestly think that nobody really talks about when it comes to fasting, because after the first rough stretch, after the headaches, the withdrawals, the weird sleep, the mental noise, something shifts. And I didn't really realize it in previous fasts. You don't notice it at first. You just realize that one day things become normal again. When people think about fasting, especially these longer fasts, they imagine a constant battle. Like you're white knuckling every hour, and then that it just gets harder and harder until you break. But really, that hasn't been my experience. The hardest part for me is always the beginning. The first, 5 or 6 days were rough. I mean, let's not make any bones about that. But after that, something settled. And really, I think in watching YouTube videos, this is the part that nobody really even talks about. Right now, I don't feel heroic. I don't feel miserable. I don't feel like I'm pushing through anything. I just feel normal. Energy is steady, mood is calm. Food isn't screaming at me all day. Even the scale, which stalled out for a couple of days there, dropped again this morning. Yeah, it wasn't dramatic, but clearly progress is continuing. So, and mentally, that's huge. Now, I'll be honest about one thing for sure. My sleep has not been great the last few nights. It was like maybe 3 nights now. I've been averaging about 5.5 hours sleep per night. Now, obviously, that sounds bad on paper, but here's the strange part: I don't feel exhausted. I just don't. I'm not crashing out through the day. I'm not anxious. It's more like my body doesn't need the same kind of sleep right now. I have experienced this before in past fasting. So I'm watching it. I'm not ignoring it. It is annoying a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not panicking about it. So what this feels like is that my body stopped arguing with what I'm doing. The first phase is resistance, but the second phase is adaptation. And this phase, what I would call the normalcy phase, feels like what's the word? Like it feels like cooperation. I've decided to do something. There was resistance at first. Now we're working together. No drama. There's no hunger at all. And there's no sense of urgency anymore. just I would call it a quiet routine. And this phase is important. I don't know why nobody talks about it, because if you don't know that this phase exists, you might quit right before it happens. You might think, well, if this is how I'm always going to feel, I might as well drop it. And that's very, very common. So, once again, I want to be extremely clear here. I'm not telling anyone to fast. I'm not giving I'm not giving advice. I'm just documenting my experience here on it, like honestly. Everybody's different. Everyone's situation is different. Not everyone is 60 years old. This is just what I'm noticing day by day, this normalcy phase. And I feel that it needs to be brought to attention. It's important. I do feel a lot of people will quit their fast before this kicks in. Day two, day three, it can get rough, but know that this normalcy phase is a essential part of every long-term fast. What you know, what surprised me most is how absolutely unremarkable it feels. How remarkable is being normal. There's no fireworks, there's no suffering montage, just, normal life minus the eating. And I think maybe that's why nobody talks about it. It's not dramatic, but for me, it's reassuring. It tells me I'm past the storm. I moved into something quieter. For now, it's a good place to be. Just know, for you, if you try these a long fast such as this, even 7 to 10 days, 21 days, 28 days. I'm doing a 30-day. Again, I've done a 42-day. Lots of people do 40-day fasts. Just realize that I wouldn't say agony, but that discomfort at first will go away. You'll go right back to feeling normal as if you were eating every day. You're just feeling normal, just minus the eating. So, again, for now, this is a good place to be. That's where I am today, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, 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 oh. Dave does lie.